I have personally found that it's most meaningful when you narrow it down to a couple questions and you go deep and you spend a long amount of dedicated time on those questions, really getting deep, really getting down to the soul level and what is really within your heart. What does your dream landscape really look like in vivid detail? So the first thing that I want to do is really just journal on what amazing things happened this year. So take a couple minutes, really think about all the amazing things that happened this year. The next thing we're going to do is the second exercise is of the things on that list that you made happen this year, sort which ones were within your comfort zone and which were on the other side of it. And this is just because when I've done this exercise, I've found that like all the amazing things that I accomplished the previous year were usually things outside my comfort zone. It was quitting my job, it was moving to a new city, it was doing all these big things. And just to really reframe in your mind that doing things outside of your comfort zone isn't actually that scary once you've done it. It's actually the highlight reel of your life are all the things that you did on the other side of your comfort zone. That was you expanding your comfort zone, expanding into your potential self. Okay, the next one is my favorite exercise. I have done this exercise probably 10 times, and every time I do it, more richness and more detail gets revealed, and I just get more excited to kind of discover. It feels kind of like a treasure hunt that I get to discover more every time I do it. So it says, you wake up on a Wednesday in the year 2032, 10 years from now. You're blank years old. So you'd fill that in. Describe the day in detail like a novel. Dream big. At this point in the workbook, the sky is the limit. This is the point to think and dream bigger. We can be realistic at a later point in the exercise. As you go through, it's important to feel what the future will feel like. The brain is more likely to follow through on emotional desires. So just imagine yourself just a typical weekday 10 years from now in your dream life. What does a typical weekday look like? And I want you to describe it in detail. Like, when you're reading a novel and they're like, and the door was this color, and they really get into detail sometimes. I want you to imagine it. Imagine it like a movie in your mind and then write it down. Pay attention to the details, look around the room. Take me from morning to night. What's on the itinerary, and what do your surroundings look like as you go through that itinerary, and what people are involved, and what activities do you do, and what emotion are you feeling, and really just get in the zone where you can connect to it and where it really lights you up. The next one is a Venn diagram exercise. It says go line by line through your description of your dream life and compare and contrast it with your current life in this Venn diagram below. And this is where you see, like, in what ways are you like hitting the nail on the head? Like you are killing it. Like you're in alignment with your dream life. And in what ways are they different? What about that picture is different from your current life? And sometimes it's really illuminating to see that, the differences are sometimes easy fixes. They are fixes just by, rearranging your schedule a little bit. Boom, it can be fixed. A lot of the things that can be fixed are free. They don't cost anything. A lot of the things that can be fixed are mindset shifts. Your mindset is different. And these are all things that are really, easy and really doable to get started on today. So go through line by line, pay attention to the details. How do the surroundings look different? How do the people look different? What's the same? And really get a gauge for what needs to be brought more into alignment. Then this is my second favorite exercise. So it says, in order to bring those circles into alignment, how do you want your life to look a year from now? So January 2023. Tell the story of a typical weekday like a novel. So you wake up January 1st, 2023, a year from now. What do you want your typical weekday to look like? How can you inch closer to your yearly dream life? How can you inch closer to getting those Venn diagrams to perfectly overlap to where your dream life actually is your current life? So go ahead and spend some time. I spent a little less time on this activity than the dream life activity, but still really get into the emotions of it. How do you want to feel a year from now? Really put yourself in that movie and set the scene. So finally, the last exercise that we're going to do in this video is, what do you want your word or theme of the year to be? And really take a couple minutes to sit with the word and see what feels right and what word seems to align with the weekday novel a year from now and the weekday novel 10 years from now. The next video is the system that I have used to reach all my goals. I reached all my goals that I set last year. And so this is the kind of the powerful system that takes your yearly vision and you keep chunking it down quarterly, monthly, weekly, until you have a daily action plan that keeps it simple, keeps it effortless. It runs on autopilot so that you're just kind of automating your dream life. You just did step 1, which is knowing what you want. The next step is to go after it.